two brutal cat killing back to back. And not just your average I don't like cats nonsense, right? We are talking a full-blown Jeffrey Dahmer cosplay starter pack here, with eyeballs removed and organs cut out. There always has been cases here and there of animal cruelty, but this is especially common to cats because in Singapore there's a lot of stray cats around, and also certain people, especially the elderly, have superstitions towards cats, like they think that the cat comes from the devil, sent to get them, and especially black cats. Black cats are the worst, they got it the worst, man. I don't think it's a valid reason. Like if you don't like cats, you can just avoid them. And especially the recent brutal cat killing cases, it's pretty clear it's way more than that. Cats have their eyeball gouged out of their sockets, and their organs and everything like gutted out and cut up. And I don't think that any simple, right-minded folk would do that. And this really reminds me of Jeffrey Dahmer, right? That's why I mentioned that Jeffrey Dahmer cosplay, because he really started from animals, and similar to a lot of serial killers that eventually transition into killing humans. And I can't help to think that maybe it's somewhat connected to the recent general election. Maybe some of the residents are very unhappy with the results, or they want to vent their frustrations because those cats were not only brutally killed, right? They were actually placed at the entrance of the pavement. There's actually been a case that comes to my mind immediately when I heard about this recent cat killing cases. So this boy threw a cat off a 22-story building like some Mark Robber science experiment video. And of course this cat didn't survive. I mean, there's a myth that cat can actually survive being thrown down a skyscraper, but obviously that's not true because at a certain point, right, there's just too much force for the cat to even survive landing on its feet. It's just gonna crush its body and everything. It's just gonna explode. Anyways, the boy actually didn't get much of a punishment, and instead he only got a month-long guidance plus a stern warning. And a psychiatrist actually assessed the boy and said that the boy did not know the consequence of his act. Like, come on, right? Basic physics is beyond them. Like, come on, like throwing a cat down a 22-story, like even a Nokia phone couldn't survive a 22-story drop, not alone a cat. And you're telling me he didn't know the consequence of throwing a cat off a high-story building? Like, I don't know, the cat's gonna parachute itself to safety, or like the cat's gonna do a Super Mario triple jump and land on its feet. But jokes aside, the punishment, even though this kid is a juvenile, right, there should be an actual punishment, not just like a guidance, because a psychopath is manipulative and they can lie their way around and get things however they want. So if the system just keeps slapping the wrist instead of actually punishing these people regardless of their juvenile or not, it's only gonna get worse because they're gonna grow up thinking that this type of act is okay in the society, and it's gonna get worse and worse, and it's gonna manifest, and it also shows to the other kids that they can do this type of act and get away with it. I feel like Singapore is a bit too lenient in that matter, but I also understand that, you know, sometimes you want leniency, right? Because if your kid actually does an act like this and then they get punished and blacklisted, it actually can ruin their life, and they will actually end up doing worse act because they feel that their life is ruined. So I kind of understand this. I feel like maybe more could be done here, right? I feel that the recent cases are very, very extreme. It really shows that even though Singapore, you know, on the outside, a lot of people say, wow, this is a green city, perfect, everybody is rich, it's a smart nation and everything. But behind every country, when you are local and you have local news, there's a lot of things going on, and especially the fact that they don't exactly report everything, right? I know of some incidents that happen to people in Singapore but were not actually reported in the news. So there's actually a lot more that are actually happening. But of course, with the outrise of social media and everything, you do feel like there's an outrise in this type of cases. But it's just that a lot of times in the past they were not reported. But anyways, I hope that the cat finds some peace, because the cat actually went through a lot, right? Getting like all fucked up here. Anyway, like and subscribe and hug your pets. Hashtag appreciate your pet day.